Have. So welcome, welcome. Today we are celebrating 9,000 members in the Global Theta group, which I was guided to open a few years ago. And well, I'm very excited for this new number of members. Last time I did something similar was when we had 8,000 members. And actually, since the 8,000 members, I think like 2 years have passed. So it's very lovely to connect with you all. And I prepared a little healing event for us. And whatever you're practicing theta healing for years, or if you are, someone who just recently discovered it, um, I hope this is going to be a contribution to you either way. So, just a quick little introduction. My name is Zsuzsa. Zsuzsa is short for Zsuzsana, and my last name is Valasic. So, Zsuzsana Valasic is my full name. And my company is called I Heal with Love. And you can find me on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and Facebook. And of course, I also have a website, www.ihealwithlove.com. And briefly, let me just tell you about my Theta healing journey. So I started Theta healing 11 years ago. At that time, I was looking for answers and healings and change. And after just taking the advanced Theta healing seminar, 2 weeks after I've taken the basic Theta healing seminar, it completely changed my life because I experienced an instantaneous healing of my lower back where I had some herniated discs. And I was in excruciating pain for months already, and it was pretty bad. My children had to pull me out of bed in the morning in order to actually function. So once I got into the benefit and to the root cause of it, and I was able to release it, I witnessed Creator's unconditional love going into that place, and I never had a lower back issue since. That was 11 years ago. And I remember just thinking to myself, if I can do this, if I could change this and shift this, you know, I could do anything. I can create anything. And that moment opened the door in my consciousness, and not only, healing, but also to possibilities. Of course, my journey wasn't a straight line. 11 years ago, I was a struggling single mother with a lot of financial problems, and I had a very strong victim mentality, and I had a long history of emotional, physical, sexual, psychological abuse. So, like many people, I had wounds and fears and limiting beliefs. Coping mechanisms and patterns that needed to be healed. Yet something inside me kept moving forward, one healing, one session, one limiting belief, one breakthrough at a time. And by the time we reached 2020, I could honestly say, 5 years after starting my Theta healing journey, that, I felt like I had transformed all areas of my life. My health improved, my finances improved, my relationships improved, my overall, mood has improved. And if I could do it, anyone could do it. So that's when I decided to become a Theta healing instructor. And since then, I have taught nearly 200 Theta healing seminars, almost taught 1,000 students, and I have become a master Theta healing instructor and then a certificate of science Theta healing instructor. Currently, I have taken all the DNA4 Theta healing seminars, which are now the highest level of Theta healing seminars. And well, I continue to train myself under the Theta healing umbrella, but also I have attended other modalities, and I even have taken developmental trauma psychology. So this has become my life. And looking back, I realized that the greatest gift wasn't simply learning how to heal myself and support others, but also the understanding why we are here, which helped me to live more consciously. And having the awareness that life is not just a collection of random experiences, clarity that every challenge, every relationship, every obstacle, and every breakthrough can become an opportunity for growth and evolution, which is why we are here. Which brings us to today's topic, which is virtues. Virtues were voted to be the subject for today's event. And virtues are one of my favorites, of course. I have a virtue video series with already 57 virtue videos that I'm continuously adding to. So it is something that really inspires me, and I'm very passionate about virtue. So I might manifested virtues being, voted, I must admit. But we're also gonna do, group healings for sure. That was the other thing you could vote for. And of course, I'm gonna also offer at the end a manifestation meditation. All right, sounds good. So thank you so much for being here. I think more people will be coming, but we shall start. So I also like to share that it's a full moon, so that also supports us today. And tomorrow, it's a 10 million multiplier day. And 10 million multiplier days, there are 4 every year, and which means that every intention, action is multiplied by 10 million times. So number one, we should be very aware what we are thinking of, what we are doing on these 10 million multiplier days. But most importantly, today's event is a great opportunity to prepare for tomorrow's 10 million multiplier day, because we are going to be arriving with this elevated vibration that is my intention for today. So just like every Theta Healing seminar, let's start with a beautiful prayer. And just let's bring our attention to the here, to the now. Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, my God, Creator of all there is, thank you for today. Thank you for our lives. Thank you for everything and everyone in our lives. We understand they all serve a divine purpose. And please give us the courage, the wisdom, the compassion, and the kindness to recognize their purpose. Thank you, Creator. Aho. And now please just take some deep breaths in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And bring your attention to your heart space. You can even put your hand to your heart. Your heart full of love, your beautiful heart beating continuously, loving. And just visualize that energy from your heart space being sent down to the core of Mother Earth, that is part of all that is. Mother Earth that loves us, supports us unconditionally. And then visualize that energy coming right back up through the soles of your feet, merging up your legs, your spine, opening your chakras in the front, in the back, and forming a beautiful ball of light above your head. You are in this ball of light, and you start to go up, 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 past the ceiling and the sky. And the higher you go, the faster you go, with the intention to connect to the 7th plane of existence beyond the universe. The layers and layers and layers of lights of the 4th plane, the beautiful golden light layers of the 5th plane, effortlessly through this thicker jelly-like substance that are the laws of the 6th plane, and past the pink mist, that is the law of compassion, you arrive into this pearly, iridescent, bright white light, this energy of unconditional love, this energy of creation, the highest frequency energy available. And keep going higher and feel this unconditional love energy embracing you and flowing to you and through you. Surrender to this love and light. And just witness, just visualize, what is it doing? What part of your body is it flowing to? Is it cleansing? Is it purifying? With curiosity, just witness it and allow it to do what it knows better to do. And then please just stay connected. So today, I would like to invite you to look at virtues from a completely different perspective, from a higher perspective. So most people think of virtues as moral qualities, which is more the religious consciousness, ways we should behave, the ways we should treat others, the ways we should become better people. But from divine perspective, virtues are much more than that. Virtues are expression of divine love. They are frequencies. They are a state of consciousness. They are qualities of creation itself. And if we could describe the energy of creation, we would find virtues embedded within that energy of unconditional love. Virtues are qualities our soul longs to embody because they bring us closer to remembering who we truly are, to our true essence, which is love. From the perspective of the soul, life is not happening to us, life is always happening for us. Every challenge, every relationship, every disappointment, even every success, every loss, every triumph, every heartbreak, every victory, every single experience contains opportunities to cultivate virtues which aid you to become more free to be your authentic, precious self as a spark of God. From the perspective of the soul, the purpose is evolution, expansion, awareness, and the path to return to love. From the soul's perspective, possessions and achievements and titles and money isn't valued as from the human perspective because the soul comes here to evolve, to transform resentment into compassion, to transform fear into courage, to transform judgment into kindness, to transform knowledge into wisdom, to transform separation into loving connections. And many spiritual traditions teach that the earth is one of the fastest schools available. And if we look at it honestly, as a human life, and now more I think than ever, as the pace of a human life has become faster, we can understand why. In one lifetime, we can experience duality in all its forms: joy and grief and betrayal and love and parenthood and illness and success and failure and prosperity and scarcity and loneliness and connection and forgiveness and transformation. The opportunities for growth are endless. This creates, of course, accelerated growth opportunities. So actually acknowledging that your soul chosen this experience to evolve, I think it's by itself a huge awareness. So this is why we chose to come here. And there is more of us here now than ever before. Actually, Earth has become a popular place, right? And sometimes this perspective can be difficult for human mind to understand. Why? When you have someone coming to you for a session, and they have, for example, a terminal illness, and you're asking, oh, what are you getting out of that? People can get sometimes upset. What do you mean I'm getting out of it? Because they don't want to see and take responsibility, accountability that indeed they had something to do with that illness. And because the human self has needs, right? The subconscious wants safety, predictability, security. We want all to be healthy and in harmonious, loving relationships, and we want to thrive financially, and we desire connections. However, the soul sees it from a much broader perspective. The soul is eternal. The soul is indestructible. The soul understands that experiences are temporary. And let me clarify this. I don't mean that, from the soul's perspective, suffering is good, or an illness is desirable, or a trauma should happen. But it does mean that the soul often sees possibilities for growth where the human self sees only difficulty, struggle, suffering. And I remember Vayana saying this to me sometimes, or hearing her saying this, you might be suffering and you're thinking that you're having the most difficult experience of your lifetime, but in the same time, your soul is having a ball. Like it's not as affected by the human drama and pain as we might think. However, the soul understands that compassion can emerge through pain, that courage can emerge from fearful experiences, that kindness can emerge through understanding, that wisdom can emerge through experiences. And when we begin to understand that even the most difficult experiences can contain gifts from the soul's perspective, we can focus on the positive. And this doesn't mean that we have to like every experience or we have to be grateful for every experience, right? Or that we should justify abuse or loss or pain or suffering. It simply means we can become curious about the possibility that there may be something more beneath the surface of what our human mind can immediately see. And before we go down that spiral, right, that this is something terrible and horrible and that we are suffering, we might, can look like in the yin and yang, that in everything bad there is something good, and focusing on that good can open up a completely different perspective. So indeed, every person has a divine purpose who enters our life. Some arrive to love us, some arrive to support us, some arrive to challenge us, some arrive to reveal our strengths, and some arrive to reveal our wounds. Some arrive to teach us boundaries, and some arrive to teach us forgiveness. And what is the only way they can teach us forgiveness? By hurting us first, right? Some arrive to teach us self-worth. Some arrive to help us remember who we truly are. The soul is less concerned with comfort, safety, and physiological needs of a human body, and more interested in the expansion. What the personality may perceive as a setback, the soul may perceive as an opportunity. What the mind may call failure, the soul may call a lesson. What the ego may call rejection, the soul may call redirection. One of the most empowering questions we can ask: what if here? What is here, that I have not seen yet? What is happening from a higher perspective, if I rise above the drama? So instead of becoming trapped in the question, why is this happening to me? We can become curious and ask, what is this trying to teach me? How might this be protecting me or motivating me? What strengths is this helping me to develop? What virtues am I being invited to cultivate? And what hidden gifts may be, revealing themselves through this experience? Sometimes the lesson becomes clear quickly, sometimes it takes years, and sometimes we only understand the purpose of an experience long after, when we are looking back and we realize that once felt like the greatest obstacle became one of the greatest catalysts for our growth. When we approach life from this curiosity instead of resistance, we began to see that every experience contains information, wisdom, and opportunity. And then we move from victimhood to awareness and empowerment. From blame to understanding, from the why me, which is a victim mentality, to what is this inviting me to learn? And what is my soul's intention to evolve here? And yes, there are always other more harmonious, kinder, more fulfilling, empowering ways to cultivate virtues, which you can then shift, right? And we visit that more in the You and the Creator seminar, how to communicate with the higher self and how to, negotiate with the higher self. And I've been doing that for years. And, once I was showing my higher self, my soul, that I can cultivate the same virtues and also satisfy my human, physical, physiological, emotional, financial needs, then truly my life was improving. So today I'm going to offer to you a lot of healings about the 4 foundational virtues. So amongst all the virtues, there are 4 that we call foundational virtues that are more the subject of the DNA 4 or maybe Planes of Existence 2 seminar. That's where Bayana was introducing them. But the 4 foundational virtues are compassion, courage, kindness, and wisdom. And actually, why I chose these 4 is because when these 4 become strong within us, every other virtue begins to grow more naturally and easily, okay? Because these 4 are connected to the rest of the virtues. So when we become capable of meeting life differently through these 4 virtues, there are more awareness, there's more grace, there's more love. And so what do you think? How does this resonate with you? Before we talk about these four, let's do some healing about what was just mentioned, because I can already feel some of the triggers surfacing. Okay, so I would like you to close your eyes and co-witness these with me, these releases, shifts for yourself. Okay, so please bring your attention to the seventh plane of existence, this unconditional love energy of the Creator. Visualize this energy flowing to you and through you like a waterfall. And I invite you to ask the Creator, Creator of all that is, it is requested for you to show me the energy of my current limiting ways of evolving in this human experience. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Show me. So please see the energy being shown to you. And then we're going to request the Creator to cancel, clear, resolve on all levels the following beliefs. Life is happening to me. Growth comes through suffering. Pain is my greatest teacher. My challenges, struggles define me. I lose my identity without struggle. I am separate from the Creator of all that is. I am powerless, I am hopeless, I am helpless. My life is unfair. I am unsupported. I am stuck. I have limited choices. My circumstances control my reality. I have to struggle to evolve. I have to suffer to evolve. My purpose is painful. Love is difficult. Life is difficult. Growth is difficult. Change is difficult. I am forbidden to evolve through joy. I am a victim. Visualize the energy just becoming brighter and lighter. And now let's ask the Creator to disconnect you from these group consciousnesses that, have these perspectives. And let's ask Creator to mark complete any oaths, vows, promises, contracts, curses that supported these beliefs and release you from their obligations, liberating you, freeing you to evolve in a way that you choose to. This is your free agency. That is your birthright. And may you be blessed with more awareness and clarity to see the patterns and the paradigms. And let's ask Creator to start pulling the shock and the trauma from all space-time dimensions, from all versions of you where you actually were functioning from these limiting subconscious programs, and sending unconditional love healing to you, to all versions of you. And now, can the Creator teach you Creator's perspective, definition, understanding of human life, of the essence of virtues, of your free agency, which is your birthright? Would you like to know what it feels like to see your life through the eyes of your soul and of the eyes of the Creator? To see how far you have come. To acknowledge your evolution. Would you like to have Creator's perspective of your life experiences? And would you like to know what it feels like to recognize opportunities for growth in every experience, in every relationship, in your daily life? How to have this focus on the growth with ease and grace. And then again, bring your attention back to this unconditional love energy of the Creator. Cleanse and allow this unconditional love energy showering you. Again, just surrender to this love and light and visualize what this unconditional love energy is doing. The highest intelligence, pure love. Recharging, regenerating, shifting, cleansing, neutralizing, harmonizing, optimizing. It knows what to do better than you. And just say, thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. And then let's move on to compassion. So, what is compassion? Compassion is the ability to recognize, feel, and understand the experience of another person while holding genuine care, concern, and desire for their well being, but without absorbing their pain, without needing to, take responsibility for what is happening to them. So, empathy allows you to feel, and compassion adds the heart. Compassion says, I see you, I care, I understand. Compassion is an active state of love. Compassion is one of the purest expression of unconditional love because it allows us to meet people where they are without judgment. From Creator's perspective, compassion is the recognition that every soul is on their journey. Every soul is learning, growing, remembering their essence. Compassion recognizes that people behave according to their current level of awareness, consciousness, healing, programming, perception. Compassion understands that behind every action there is a story, there is a wound, there is a coping mechanism, there is a misunderstanding or a lesson. Creator's compassion sees both the struggle and the potential, the challenge and the growth, the wound and the healing, the human being and the soul, the spark of God beyond the human body. Compassion is seeing through the eyes of love. And let's look at some kind of limiting ways that people have been learning compassion. So, number one, my favorite is, I think is the most common one, confusing compassion with pity. Pity says, poor you. Pity sees the weakness. Pity focuses on the suffering and on the pain. Compassion says, I see your pain, I see your suffering, and I believe in your ability to rise. Compassion sees the strength. Compassion acknowledges suffering by recognizing the possibility. So before pity, there was indifference. And then through pity, people started caring for one another, right? But the understanding became distorted because caring through pity is disempowering. Another limiting way is compassion being confused with rescuing. So if I truly care, I must solve their problem. This often develops, the healer, the parent, the teacher, the coach, the caregiver. And if there's no balance, then it can become very overwhelming. So indeed, the lesson here taught is contribution, but rescuing takes ownership and it continues being disempowering to the person. Then compassion confused with self-sacrifice. Many people think that if I care about others, my needs come second or my needs come last. Historically, many have learned compassion through self-denial and self-sacrifice, of self-abandonment and martyrdom. And this creates pattern of staying in harmful environments and relationship, but compassion and boundaries can coexist. Self-compassion, self-respect can coexist with being compassionate. The next one is compassion confused with emotional absorption. So many sensitive people believe if I care, I must feel everything they feel. This often creates, overwhelm and emotional exhaustion and burnout. And in this case, instead of connection, the distortion becomes an energetic entanglement. Then compassion confused with guilt. Many people learned if others suffer, I should suffer too. There's the survival guilt. If I'm happy while others are struggling, I am selfish. So this will limit them to struggle. Were you told when you were a child, when you were wasting food, that children in China and India were starving? So right away they were showing you to be compassionate, and they ignited your guilt for not eating your food, right? Like if I didn't eat, like they could just send it to India or China. No, the food was already there, right? So the whole thing was just an illusion, but it's one of the ways that I have found that people were, programmed in an early on, that compassion and guilt can be associated. So I invite you to meditate on compassion now. So please close your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And visualize the energy of Mother Earth coming through the soles of your feet, merging up your body and opening a beautiful ball of light above your head. And then you are in this ball of light and you project your consciousness beyond the universe and the layers and layers of lights and the golden lights and the thicker jelly-like substance that are the laws, and into this pearly, iridescent, bright white light energy of unconditional love of the seventh plane. Feel this unconditional love energy in every cell of your body, in every fiber of your being. And make the request a command. Creator of all that is. It is requested that you show me what limiting way am I learning compassion. Thank you, Creator. It is done. It is done. It is done. Then ask the Creator, where is this coming from? Where did it start? What am I getting out of learning compassion this way? What lessons are to be kept while releasing this limiting way? What other virtues are being learned here as well? Then ask the Creator, what does Creator want me to learn through this pattern? Anything higher than that? Anything higher than that? What needs to shift here in order for this way of learning compassion to be marked complete? Any download needed? Maybe an oath, a vow, a promise, a contract is holding it. Keep asking, is this ready to be completed now, Creator? And then last but not least, I invite you to ask the Creator to show you more loving, more compassionate, self-compassionate, fulfilling ways to learn compassion. Show you what that looks like. How do you look when you are cultivating compassion in this new, more fulfilling, joyful way? Ask Creator to show you. And know it's safe, it's possible, it's permitted for you to choose that. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. And now, with your permission, can we cancel, crystal, resolve some limiting beliefs? I must suffer to understand suffering. Compassion requires suffering and sacrifice. My needs are less important than other people's needs. I must choose between self-compassion and compassion for others. Helping others is more important than helping myself. If I am compassionate, I must carry their pain. People need me to heal them through myself. I am responsible for other people's well-being. If I stop helping, I am selfish. If I have to save people to be worthy of Creator's love or the people's love. If my loved ones suffer, I have failed. The more I suffer, the more compassionate I become. Being compassionate means tolerating abuse. So cancelly resolving this on all levels. Of course, you might need to dig, but for now, everything that is ready to be released without digging is being sent to God's light and replaced with, would you like to have Creator's perspective, definition, understanding, knowing, and feeling of compassion? You know what it feels like to be compassionate whilst having healthy self-worth, self-respect, self-love? Would you like to have the clear discernment between compassion and pity and between self-compassion and self-pity? Would you like to have the clear discernment between compassion and rescuing? Between compassion and self-sacrifice? Would you like to know what it feels like to care deeply while honoring your own needs? Would you like to know what it feels like to support others without carrying a responsibility for their journey? Would you like to know how that it's safe, it's possible to recognize the strength and the potential in every soul, every person? Would you like to know what it feels like to recognize someone else's suffering without absorbing and becoming overwhelmed by it? Would you like to know how to hold space for healing with Creator's support? Would you like to know what it feels like to contribute without controlling outcomes? Would you like to know how to remain connected without becoming entangled? Would you like to know what it feels like to recognize the perfection of every soul's learning journey? Would you like to know how to honor free will while remaining compassionate? Would you like to know what it feels like to be compassionate without losing yourself? Would you like to know what it feels like to embody compassion from Creator's perspective while being healthy, joyful, and abundant? All these arrive to the highest, the best way, with molecules of emotion to show you what it feels like, creating new neurological pathways, synaptic connections. This is safe, it's possible, it's permitted. And now again, bring your attention back to this unconditional love energy of the seventh plane of existence. Make the request, the command to meet the law of compassion. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. And then you are surrounded in a bubble of unconditional love while you go back down to the sixth plane. And the first law, emotional law, is compassion. It has a beautiful violet color. And just sense that compassion, the essence of compassion. You can even ask the law if it has any suggestions how to be more compassionate. And then when you're done, please bring back your attention to the seventh plane of existence, this unconditional love energy of the Creator. Feel this unconditional love energy in every cell of your body, in every fiber of your being. Let's ask the Creator to integrate the information from the law through the seven planes, unconditional love and perspective. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. And now let's move on to courage, our next foundational virtue. So, what is courage? Courage can be pretty misunderstood for some people because they believe that courage means the absence of fear, but courage is the willingness to move forward despite the fear that is arising. Growth over familiarity, expansion over limiting comfort zone. Courage is the willingness to take that next step even when certainty is unavailable to us. Every meaningful transformation requires courage. Every dream requires courage. Every healing requires courage. Every honest conversation requires courage. Every act of authenticity requires courage. Every time we choose our truth over our conditioning, courage is present. From Creator's perspective, courage is one of the virtues every soul already possesses before entering this life. In fact, it takes tremendous courage to come here. Before incarnation, we exist in a state of unity, connection, remembrance. We know who we are. You're very welcome, Anna. We know who we are. We know we are loved. We are certain of this connection to the Creator. And then we choose to enter this physical reality. The soul signs up for a journey where it temporarily forgets its magnificence so that it can, through this human experience, remember it again. And that requires extraordinary courage. Every single person in this planet has already demonstrated an immense courage simply by being here. Before taking our first breath, courage was already present, right? Our soul entered this duality, this human experience. The first act alone is one of the greatest expression of courage imaginable. The courage we seek through life is already inside us. It might have been, suppressed and sometimes forgotten and sometimes, distorted. As humans, courage appears whenever we encounter fear. Fear is the subconscious mind, the survival part of the subconscious mind attempting to keep us safe. The subconscious is designed for survival. Its primary purpose is protection. And unfortunately, the subconscious often struggles to distinguish between danger and growth. To the subconscious, Rejection can feel dangerous, success can feel dangerous, visibility can feel dangerous, love can feel dangerous, connections can feel dangerous, change can feel dangerous, being different can feel dangerous. You know, as a result, fear often appears precisely at the doorway of our next expansion. And from all the different voices in our head, which one is usually the loudest? Fear, right? And then that the wisdom, the higher self might be, whispering compared to fear. And the closer we get to growth, so the more we are ready to leave that familiar comfort zone, the louder the fear can become. And, many people just, give up right before the breakthrough because they assume this means they should stop. Often it means they are standing at the edge of transformation. But what is the very guidance that brought you there was your soul, and by trusting you could overcome your fears. So everywhere this happened to you, okay? Everywhere where there was, you stopped and you believed yourself to be a failure because you didn't have the courage to move forward, can the creator start pulling the shock and the trauma and start sending you so much unconditional love energy? Can simply resolve, I'm a failure, I'm here to fail, and show you what it feels like to be a winner, what it feels like in every cell of your body to have the certainty that you can graduate this lifetime, completing your life purpose, your soul's mission with ease and grace, recognizing all the support available to you to do so, recognizing the voice of fear, embracing it, thanking for its purpose, sending love to it, but choosing to move beyond it and listen to the voice of reason, to the guidance of your soul, to the guidance of the Creator, your intuition instead. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. Show us. So just like with every virtue, also courage can be associated with suffering. Courage for some people means staying no matter how painful the experience becomes. So this distortion creates a lot of unnecessary suffering. And indeed, sometimes courage means leaving, but sometimes courage means staying. Then courage confused with fearlessness. Many people believe courageous people never feel fear. As a result, they wait for the fear to disappear before acting. This is courage learned through confidence. And the distortion becomes, perfection or maximalism. But unfortunately, there's never a perfect timing from if you are functioning from this belief, right? I mean, it's just going to be postponing the change. Then another one is courage confused with self-reliance. Many people learn if I ask for help, that means I'm weak. I must do everything alone. This can create, of course, hyper-independence, and it can also create isolation. And just think about it, sometimes being vulnerable and asking for support is the most courageous act. Then courage confused with recklessness. Some people learn that courage means taking risks without awareness, ignoring intuition, possible consequences, and this can create impulsive actions, and those can also cause trauma. Then courage confused with suppression. So many people learn courage means no crying, no feeling, uh, being tough. Courage means staying strong. Being avoidant is a distortion, and it leads to emotional disconnection. As consciousness evolves, we learn these lessons through awareness instead. So Now I again invite you to meditate on the virtue of courage. So please take some deep breaths in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And visualize the energy from the core of Mother Earth coming up through the soles of your feet, merging up your body, opening a beautiful ball of light above your head. You are in this ball of light. And you start to go up, up, up. The higher you go, the faster you go. With intention, connect to the seventh plane of existence beyond the universe, the bright lights, the dark lights, the beautiful golden lights. A thicker jelly-like substance effortlessly that are the laws, and past the pink mist you arrive into this pearly iridescent bright white light, this energy of unconditional love. Keep going higher, feel this unconditional love surrounding you, embracing you, flowing to you and through you. And make the request to the Creator, Creator of all that is. It is requested that you show me what was the first experience after taking this human body that disactivated my ability to be courageous. Please show me, Creator. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. And Creator starts to shower that version of you with so much unconditional love. Any healing on the cellular memory, if it was associated with physical pain. And just showering you with so much unconditional love and reactivating the courage. Disassociating that experience from who you are. Becoming aware of some of that being the root of some of your self-sabotaging behaviors. And every experience that was affected by that, Creator is expanding the healing to and sending you so much unconditional love and compassion. And now again, bring your attention back to this unconditional love energy of the seventh plane of existence and make the request for the Creator to show you, Creator of all there is. It's requested to show me what is my most limiting way of learning courage. Where is this coming from? Where did this start? What is the benefit here? How is this serving me to learn courage this way? How is this motivating me? What lesson is to be kept while releasing the need to learn courage this way? What does Creator want me to learn through this pattern? Anything higher than that? Anything higher than that? What needs to shift here in order to mark this way of learning courage complete? Is it ready to be completed now? If so, witness it. And last, ask the Creator to show you a more loving, wiser, fulfilling, safer way to learn courage that it's available to you now. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. Show me. And then please co-witness these with me. So cancel, clear, resolve on all levels the following beliefs. Fear is the only thing that can keep me safe. If I fail, I will be rejected. If I succeed, I will be rejected. If I become visible, I will be attacked, rejected. The unknown is dangerous. Change is dangerous. I must have certainty before taking actions or making decisions. I need permission before moving forward. I am never ready. It's safer to stay small. Being authentic is dangerous. Being creative is dangerous. Life is unsafe. The nail that sticks out gets hammered down. Success creates enemies. Being different is dangerous. My power is dangerous. I will lose connections and love when I become successful. So cancel, clear, resolving all these. The higher, the best way, and replacing can the Creator teach you Creator's highest perspective, definition, understanding, knowing, and feeling of courage, what it feels like to be courageous and have discernment and awareness in the same time. Would you like to know what it feels like to trust yourself? Would you like to know what it feels like to move forward without the need to see the entire path? Would you like to know the difference between courage and recklessness, courage and proving yourself? Would you like to know that growth can feel unfamiliar and still be safe? Would you like to know that change is inevitable and it's safe? Would you like to know that success is safe? That visibility is safe? Would you like to know what it feels like to trust the wisdom of your soul? Would you like to know what it feels like to follow your inner guidance with ease and grace? Would you like to know how to recognize fear without surrendering your power to it? Would you like to know what it feels like to trust Creator, your fifth plane being, the helpers, the angelic support and protection available to you, your abilities, skills, talents, your capacities, and your divine timing? This is all safe, it's possible, it's permitted, and you know how to do it. Would you like to know that uncertainty can coexist with confidence? Would you like to know what it feels like to embody courage with grace and ease? Would you like to know what it feels like to have the awareness that your soul is stronger than any fear? Would you like to know what it feels like to remember the courage it took to come here and live this human experience, and the courage to come out of your mother, and the courage to take your first breath, and the courage to take your first step? Would you like to know what it feels like to embody courage from Creator's perspective? What it feels like to reignite and to reactivate all that courage that you came here with? Would you like to know what it feels like that every step forward is towards your authenticity, that it strengthens your soul? Would you like to know what it feels like to live courageously, consciously, and freely? And now please bring your attention back to the seventh plane, unconditional love energy. Ask the Creator to show you. Creator, all there is, it's requested that you show me. Where is my courage in my body? Where is it concentrating? Where do I feel the most courageous? And where attention goes, energy flows. And now Creator is showering that part of your body with unconditional love, magnifying, strengthening the courage 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. Every cell of your body has the receptors of being courageous, courageous to shine your light, courageous to spread love, courage to speak up, courage to have visions for the future, courage to feel empowered and being in situations and experiences that empower you and empower others, courageous to manifest, to create, to co-create, courage to ground and to connect to the Creator's wisdom, courage to accept support, to be vulnerable. This is all safe and possible and permitted. I invite you to ask the Creator to show you, when you're functioning from all this courage, what opportunities, what relationships, what connections are available to you. And that you're free to choose these with ease and grace. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. And even though courage is one of the foundational virtues, in the same time, Vajana says she stopped asking to learn courage because she didn't want fearful experiences to show up in her life, so she needs to overcome, right? So she kept asking for bravery. Okay, so just so you know, that's also a choice. Instead of being courageous, you can become brave as well. But the same applies. You can be brave and still, have discernment and wisdom and create, of course, meaningful, joyful, purposeful experiences. So let's move on to kindness. How is it so far? All good? How do you feel? All right, perfect. So, what is kindness? Kindness is love expressed through action. Isn't that a beautiful definition? It is one of the simplest virtues, yet one of the most transformative ones. Just what you needed today. Oh, thank you. Just what I needed today, too. Kindness is conscious choice to bring more love, more care, more consideration, gentleness, and goodwill into the world. Kindness is not merely being nice or being polite, right? Or doing people pleasing and avoiding conflict and walking on eggshells. Kindness is active expression of love. Sometimes kindness is just a nice smile to a stranger. Sometimes kindness is encouraging a child. Sometimes kindness is listening to someone. Sometimes kindness is forgiveness. Sometimes kindness is being honest. Sometimes kindness is setting boundaries. Sometimes kindness is saying yes. Sometimes kindness is saying no. True kindness always serves growth, well being, and love. Kindness has the power to transform every and all relationships, experiences. Kindness can transform families, communities, generations. And Vayana always says, is the key to manifestation. A single act of kindness can offer the direction of someone's day to their self-worth or even to their life. Can alter, I apologize, a single act of kindness can alter the direction of someone's day, their self-worth, and even their life. Many people underestimate kindness, yet kindness is one of the highest frequencies available to us humans. And from Creator's perspective, kindness is the natural expression of recognizing the divinity in all beings. When we recognize that every soul is an expression of creation, kindness becomes natural. It becomes the natural response of a heart connected to love. Kindness is extended because love is the nature of creation itself. Kindness recognizes dignity, worth, humanity, divinity. It means remembering that beneath every behavior exists a soul worthy of love. From a manifestation perspective, kindness is one of the virtues most closely aligned with creation. Why? Because kindness places us into energetic alignment with the frequency through which all things are created. The more we embody kindness, the more we become a match for harmony, support, opportunities, connection, and abundance. So, what has been, wrong associations of kindness and limiting ways of learning kindness? So I already mentioned one of them is people pleasing, right? Many people learn if I'm kind, everyone must be happy with me. If someone is upset, I have failed. If I say no, that means I am being unkind. Here, kindness is practiced through self abandonment, but true kindness includes you and includes honesty and authenticity as well. The next one is very common kindness confused with weakness. Many people learn that if they are kind, people will take advantage of them and, disregard their needs. In reality, kindness often requires more strength than aggression. Kindness can be your biggest strength, and kindness is often a conscious choice. Kindness is confused also with submission. Throughout history, many people were taught that kindness meant obedience, to stay quiet, to never disagree, to follow orders and expectations. This distortion became powerlessness. However, kindness and equality and cooperation can also coexist. And of course, my favorite, kindness confused with self-sacrifice. Many people learned if I'm equally kind to myself, that means I'm selfish. So in every virtue, it's not only, practicing kindness by acting a certain way with others, but it's also in the same time acting through the same self-love with yourself and also being able to receive that frequency and that energy from others. And I remember Vayana did one healing on me. I don't even know which seminar it was. I was in Montana, probably it was Planes of Existence too, and I was the demo. And it was very interesting because she was telling me, that we're gonna do belief work on kindness. And I remember that, we were digging and I was taking back a past life memory, and the only way I could receive kindness if I was homeless and I was very desperate and really like this uh, very miserable person of the community. That was my way of teaching kindness to others, right? So that was a huge healing for me, and being able to receive kindness from others and having this reciprocity, it's very, very important. So most people that are theta healers, they know how to be kind to others. They learn that. They might struggle a little bit by being kind to themselves and to be able to receive kindness from others. So just, an invitation for awareness. Okay. And the last one I want to talk to you about is kindness confused with avoiding truth. So some people believe honesty is harsh and kindness requires withholding the truth. Yet some of the kindest acts can be the offering the truthful conversation. And truth can be shared with compassion and kindness in the same time, right? So let's do meditation on the virtue of kindness next. I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And visualize the energy of Mother Earth coming up through the soles of your feet, merging up your legs, your body, opening your chakras in the front, in the back, and forming a beautiful ball of light above your head. You are in this ball of light. And you start to go up, up, up. The higher you go, the faster you go with the intention to connect to the seventh plane of existence. Beyond the universe, the bright lights, the dark lights, your beautiful golden lights, the thicker jelly-like substance that are the laws, and past the pink mist, you arrive into this pearly, iridescent, bright white light, this energy of unconditional love. Push down your barriers, surrender to this love and light. Feel it in every cell of your body, in every fiber of your being. And make the requested command, create all there is. It is requested to be shown in what limiting way am I learning kindness. Creator, where is this coming from? Where did this start? What am I getting out of learning kindness this way? How is this motivating me? How is this protecting me? What lesson is to be kept here while releasing the need for the limitation? What does Creator want me to learn through this pattern? Anything higher than that? Anything higher than that? What needs to shift here, Creator, in order to mark this way of learning kindness complete? Any download? Is this ready to be complete now? Creator, please show me a more authentic, wiser, fulfilling way of learning kindness. Thank you, Creator. It is done. It is done. It is done. Please co-witness with me the cancel, the clearing, the resolving of the following limiting beliefs. Kind people get hurt. Kind people are weak. I am unkind. People are unkind. People take advantage of me if I'm kind. Boundaries and kindness can coexist? No. I have to choose between kindness and power. If I say no, people will stop loving me. My needs matter less than everyone else's. Being loving means making everyone feel comfortable. Conflicts mean I'm unkind. The world is a harsh place. Kindness makes you a target. Kindness is naive. I need to carry the regret of being kind. And let's replace it with Creator's highest perspective, definition, understanding, knowing, and feeling of kindness. That you know what it feels like to embody kindness as a form of strength. You have the clear discernment between kindness and people pleasing, between kindness and submission, and between kindness and self-sacrifice. Would you like to know what it feels like to honor yourself while honoring others? What it feels like to be able to set healthy boundaries in a kind way, and what it feels like for those boundaries to be respected and honored with ease and grace. You know what it feels like to receive kindness from others when you are healthy, abundant, successful. You know what it feels like to speak your truth with kindness? That kindness and power can coexist, that kindness and success can coexist. Would you like to know what it feels like to receive kindness just for existing? That you know what it feels like to feel worthy and deserving of kindness without the need to perform or look a certain way or be anything. Would you like to know what it feels like to extend your ability to be kind to yourself? Would you like to know what it feels like that kindness creates harmony within your mind, your body, your life, your relationships? Would you like to know what it feels like to remain kind without abandoning your truth? Would you like to know what it feels like to choose kindness without losing your voice? Would you like to know what it feels like that your kindness strengthens relationships, manifestations, and connections with ease and grace? Would you like to know what it feels like to recognize the divine worth of every being with ease and grace? Would you like to know what it feels like to embody kindness from Creator's perspective? Would you like to know what it feels like to be reminded daily by the Creator that you are loved. And now please bring your attention to the 7 planes unconditional love energy. Let's make the request, the command, create all there is. It is requested that I am being shown a version of me, a life where I was kind to myself, kind to others. I was open to receive kindness from others in the most healthy, optimal way from Creator's perspective. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. Show me. Visualize Creator showing you. Are you a man or a woman? How are you dressed? What era is this? And most importantly, see yourself cultivating and mastering the virtue of kindness in a beautiful, healthy way. How did you feel about yourself? About your life? About people in general? What was people's opinion of you? How satisfied, content were you with your life? And just by experiencing this, you're already creating receptors and this is making it more possible and easier for you to embody that kindness. But now just bring back your attention to the 7th plane of existence. And we're going to ask the Creator to bring forward this kindness through your spiritual DNA to the master cell in the pineal gland, activating any dormant strings of the DNA that you know is safe to be kind, is safe to function from this level of kindness. Your kindness is a contribution to yourself and to everyone else. And to be aware of this is safe. You can choose it. And just repeat, I'm a kind person. I have so much kindness to give. I'm open to recognize and to receive others' kindness. And first and foremost, I am open to be kind to myself as well. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. And now let's move to the last foundational virtue, being wisdom. So what is wisdom? Many people confuse wisdom with intelligence. Others confuse wisdom with, education and knowledge. Others believe wisdom can only come when you are old. Yet wisdom is something far deeper. Knowledge is information. Wisdom is the ability to perceive the highest truth. Knowledge is collected, wisdom is embodied. Knowledge tells us what, wisdom helps us understand the why. Knowledge can be borrowed, wisdom is earned through awareness. You see, a person may possess a vast amount of knowledge and diplomas, and they can still lack wisdom. And another person may have little formal education, yet possesses extraordinary wisdom. Wisdom is the integration of experience, its awareness, its observation, intuition, and understanding, and combination of those. Wisdom allows us to see beyond appearances, beyond emotional reactions, coping mechanisms, beyond temporary circumstances, and beyond fear. Wisdom allows us to perceive the larger picture, and wisdom and, well, discernment is, and good judgment is part of wisdom, helps us to be able to practice all the virtues in a healthy way. So wisdom helps us know when to speak and when to remain silent, when to stay and when to leave, when to act and when to wait, and when to teach and when to listen, when to hold on and when to let go. Wisdom creates discernment, and the discernment protects every other virtue from becoming distorted. So from creator's perspective, wisdom is available everywhere. Wisdom exists within creation itself. It exists in your soul, within nature, in collective consciousnesses, in your intuition, in your observation, in your experiences, in this planet, within your ancestors, in your DNA, within every lesson we have ever learned. Wisdom is not reserved for the chosen few. That's another limiting belief, right? Wisdom is accessible whenever we become receptive to it. Many spiritual traditions teach that the soul accumulates wisdom through countless experiences, but these all contribute to the evolution of wisdom. Wisdom is recognizing the lessons beneath the experiences and seeing the soul behind the personality, and recognizing the perfection hidden within life's apparent imperfections. And we have infinite sources of wisdom. One of the most beautiful things about wisdom is that it comes through many channels. There's personal wisdom, which is gained through direct experiences, ancestral wisdom, which is carried through generations, the lessons of strength, resilience, creativity, insights carried within our lineage, the genetic wisdom, the incredible intelligence already present within your body. Your body knows how to heal. Your body knows how to create. Your body knows how to adapt. Your body carries extraordinary wisdom. Then there is universal wisdom, which is available through intuition and inspiration and higher consciousness and connection to the greater field. Many people experience this as insight, arriving unexpectedly, moments of, clarity and knowing. And then there is creator's wisdom, the highest source of wisdom, the wisdom that sees all perspectives simultaneously, the wisdom that exists beyond judgment, fear, limitations, separations, the wisdom that remembers the larger purpose behind every experience. And now let's look at some of the limiting ways people have been learning wisdom. So many people believe that pain is the greatest teacher, that they must suffer to become wise, that wisdom comes through hardship. While challenges can certainly create wisdom, suffering is not a requirement. The distortion becomes, creating unnecessary painful experiences. Then wisdom confused with age. Many people believe that they are too young to know, too young to become sage or to become wise, and that wisdom belongs to the elders, and that actually wisdom is the privilege of only a few people. While age often brings experience, wisdom is not measured by years. I can have wisdom only if I'm old. Exactly, Anna. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Thank you. Wisdom confused with knowledge. Modern society often values information, yet wisdom is not measured by how much information we have. The distortion becomes intellectual accumulation, Then wisdom confused with overthinking. Many people believe wisdom means, analyzing everything, researching more, preparing more, thinking more, waiting longer. Then wisdom confused with distrust. Some people become so cautious that they call it wisdom. They basically lack trusting and faith. The lessons here is a lot of discernment. And then wisdom confused with spiritual superiority. Many people unconsciously believe, because I have taken more seminars, I know more, I'm more evolved, I understand things others don't. And then the lesson is so much awareness and acceptance. This distortion is caused mainly by the ego, and true wisdom creates humility instead of this superiority. The wiser we become, the more we realize how much there is still to learn, right? So, again, let's do a little meditation, this time on wisdom. So please close your eyes, take a deep breath in through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Visualize the energy from the core of Mother Earth coming up through the soles of your feet, merging up your body, forming a beautiful ball of light above your head. You are in this ball of light and you start to go up, up, up. The higher you go, the faster you go, with the intention to connect to the seventh plane of existence beyond the universe. The bright lights, the dark lights, the beautiful golden lights, the thicker jelly-like substance that are the lost effortlessly, and past the pink mist you arrive into this pearly iridescent bright white light, this energy of unconditional love. And I invite you to ask the Creator of all there is. It is requested to be shown my most limiting way of trying to learn wisdom. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. Show me. Creator, show me, where is this coming from? When did this start? Creator, show me, what am I getting out of this way of learning wisdom? How has this been motivating me? What is the lesson to be kept while releasing this limitation? Creator, show me what Creator wants me to learn through this. Anything higher than that? Anything higher than that? Creator, show me what needs to shift here in order to mark this way of learning wisdom complete. Any oaths or vows or promises or contracts or anything, any downloads. Is this ready to be completed now? Creator of others, please show me a more authentic, fulfilling, kinder way of learning wisdom. Thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. Now let's cancel, clear, resolve some of these limiting common beliefs. Others know better than I do. Wisdom exists outside of me. I need permission to access wisdom or to know. I am disconnected from wisdom. I must suffer to learn. I need more information before I decide, before I make a decision, before I take action. I'm too young to know or to be wise. I'm too inexperienced to know or to be wise. The answers are outside of me. I need someone else to tell me what's the wisest choice. Authority knows best. My teacher knows best. My family knows best. Older people know best. Wisdom belongs to elders and experts. I have to be alone and isolate myself to access wisdom. Only special people have access to wisdom. I'm unspecial. I must earn wisdom through hardship. The spiritual world is separate from everyday life. Wisdom is simply unavailable to me. I'm forbidden to access wisdom. Cancel, clear, resolve these on all levels, the highest and the best way, and replace them with the following downloads. Can the Creator teach you Creator's perspective, definition, understanding, knowing, and feeling of wisdom? You know what it feels like to access wisdom beyond information. You know what it feels like to recognize truth, to have discernment of what is the highest truth. Would you like to know that it's safe, it's possible, it's permitted to access the wisdom of your soul, of your body, within your DNA, ancestral wisdom, universal wisdom, creator's wisdom, all the highest, the best way, when is the highest and the best for you. Can the Creator also show you what it feels like to be accountable and responsible for the wisdom granted to you and how to serve through love with that wisdom, with ease and grace? Would you like to have the clear discernment between wisdom and overthinking, wisdom and knowledge? Would you like to know what it feels like to perceive beyond illusion? Would you like to know what it feels like to learn through awareness? Would you like to know what it feels like to recognize lessons with ease and grace? Would you like to know what it feels like to integrate knowledge into wisdom? Would you like to know what it feels like to live from wisdom and go beyond conditioning? Would you like to know what it feels like to embody wisdom from the Creator's perspective? While you are humble and grateful and responsible and open for continuously receiving, embodying more wisdom. Would you like to know what it feels like to perceive life and all beings through Creator's eyes? Would you like to know what it feels like to see wisdom that is the light that illuminates your path? Would you like to know what it feels like to recognize the highest truth, understand lessons, and how to perceive opportunities where others see obstacles, where to see growth where others see failure, where to see and recognize purpose where others see randomness and coincidence, and where to recognize love in all its forms where others see separation and distortion? Now, please bring back your attention to the seventh plane of existence, to this unconditional love energy, this space of unconditional compassion, kindness, courage, wisdom. Take a deep breath in and just feel so safe and loved and courageous and open to all the wisdom available. And then let us, the creator of all there is, it's requested that I have access to the wisdom through my eternal molecules, the wisdom within myself, the wisdom of this planet through every grain of sand, the ancestral wisdom, the universal wisdom, the divine wisdom. I am part of this wisdom, and this wisdom is part of me. Thank you, Creator. It is done, it is done, it is done. And you can revisit again this eternal molecule in your pineal gland, which you've been bringing with you through every experience and lifetime. And you have access to the wisdom of all your lifetimes simultaneously, past and present and future. Everything is happening in the same time. All the answers are within you. And you know what it feels like to be more receptive of this wisdom, more open to it, more curious about it, more excited and grateful for it. You know how to retrieve ancestral wisdom without the shocks and the traumas and the suffering attached. And you can just recognize the wisdom, the inner wisdom, the outer wisdom. And everywhere you were forbidden to access knowledge or education or wisdom, can the creator start pulling the shock and the trauma from these experiences? Everywhere for being a woman, you were not allowed to read or to get an education or to go to the library or to have more knowledge and wisdom. Everywhere you believed these limitations, everywhere you gave the power to someone else to tell you what is possible for you, what are you worthy of, what do you deserve to know, to perceive, to understand, to recognize, to gain access to. We are just going to send so much unconditional love to these and the blessings that you can challenge these in a very clever, authentic, wise, kind, courageous, compassionate, loving way. Any oaths, false promises, contracts that would prevent you from being able to access all the wisdom available to you and all the wisdom already inside of you being recognized, perceived, aligned with, can the Creator mark complete? Send to God's light. You're free to access knowledge. You're free to access wisdom. You're free to love. You're free to shine your bright, beautiful light. You're free to consciously manifest. And this takes me to the next meditation, which is about manifesting. So there are another, I believe, 19 virtues that Vayana tells in the Planes of Existence book, which is a recipe book, as she calls it. So for successful conscious manifestation, there are 23 virtues. So we just went through the foundational virtues, and then there is acceptance, creativity, detachment, determination, fairness, faith, focus, forgiveness, hope, humor, imagination, joy, mercy, nobility, pure intent, purity of heart, tolerance, trust, and wonder. That are also needed to cultivate in order to be able to successfully manifest the highest and the best way. So we're just gonna go and bring our focus back to the seventh plane of existence, to this unconditional love energy of the Creator. We're gonna make the request, the command for the Creator to download us the highest perspective, definition, understanding of these virtues. Acceptance, creativity, detachment, determination, fairness, faith, focus, forgiveness, hope, humor, imagination, joy, mercy, nobility, pure intent, purity of heart, tolerance, trust, and wonder. The essence of these virtues. In every cell of your body, they are all open with the receptors to resonate with the highest vibration of these virtues. And visualize expanding beyond your body, beyond the planes of existences, beyond Mother Earth. Perceive the greatness, the infiniteness of your soul, of your energy. And become aware of how abundant this is and how everything that you ever desired is right there available to you. Just like when you go to a supermarket for milk and bread, the way you can also pull the energies into your space, into your life, of all the things, of all the relationships, of all the opportunities, of all the achievements that are available in this energy field infinitely. And you already know what it feels like to be fulfilled and purposeful and successful and prosperous and healthy and loved, even as you're being authentic. And you know you can choose these things. This is safe, it's possible, it's permitted, you're worthy and deserving of it. And now ask the Creator to show you someone who embodies these qualities and has some of those things, or most of those things, of all of those things that you are desiring to create in your life, while they are being healthy and fulfilled and empowered and humble, and they are kind and courageous and compassionate and loving. Ask the Creator to show you either that version of you or a person that could be your role model. And what is the most important, I would like you to perceive how safe is this person. So your subconscious, the survival part of your subconscious, can allow you to experience that because it is safe. And there is more in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years, continuously evolving and achieving. There's always room for growth. And it's safe to expand the comfort zone through the love of the Creator. And any oaths, false promises, contracts, curses, or limiting blessings that would prevent this to be manifested in your life with ease and grace, can the Creator now mark complete, send to God's light, so you know this is all possible for you. You know how to allow it for yourself to experience this, as this is all safe and permitted and possible. And then please bring back your attention to your body through your crown chakra. If you would like to go deeper into these virtues, I'm having a Theta Healing Practice Event series with the 4 foundational virtues and then the 19 other virtues for successful conscious manifestation, bi-weekly on Wednesday online. Some of you are already attending and enjoying, so you can find that on my website. As I said, virtues are definitely, oh, you're very welcome. Blessing to you too. And please let me know if you need any information or you would like to connect. I'm here to help, and thank you for being part of the Global Theta group. Thank you for coming and doing this live. Your energy was a beautiful contribution to us all. Yes, Lada, you have a question?
Yes, so thank you for this event, first of all. And I have a question. So we have 3 directions in which we practice virtue: towards ourselves, receiving from others, and towards others. So which one is practiced, like we learn first? Yes, because it seems to me that towards ourselves, it's like we learn it first, then we learn how to receive from others, and then we learn how to give this to others. Yes, or is
That's an
it?
interesting
Yeah.
perspective, and I think is unique for everyone. In my experience, is the other way around. Is learning it to give it to others, and then whatever we believe and how much we have it, that's gonna reflect on our relationship. So if we feel unworthy of receiving kindness from ourselves, we won't be able to even recognize people's kindness and we won't be able to receive that and embrace that. So in my experience, it's the other way around. But I mean that's just my experience. And even when we were muscle testing in planes of existence too, it was. Yes, there will be recording available. Apologies. In the muscle test, and the theme was more, being able to give it to ourselves and being able to receive it from others. Because we were thought to be kind, and we've been practicing kindness by being kind to others, for example, or generous, or forgiveness, and all these other things. So usually it's practiced through the relationship towards others, and then we put ourselves, usually exclude ourselves from it, and then because of that, also receiving from others, it's conditioned. So that's my experience. But great question. Thank you so much for clarifying. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Oh, perfect. I'm so happy this was nurturing and fulfilling. And now you're ready for the 10 million multiplier day today. Again, thank you so much. Anyone else? I saw someone else wanting to ask a question, but then the hand disappeared. So I don't know who it was. All right. Oh, when will I will upload it to YouTube, and yeah, it should be, and I will share it in the group as well for the people that missed it. Again, thank you so much for being here and taking the time. Thank you, thank you. Gratitude to you all. And I hope to connect with you soon again in the online space or in person. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Love you all. Bye bye.